Now we're on page 7. We're looking at number 7, deep breaths. In this, we have a breath mark that tells us we can take a quick breath between the notes, but we have notes that are next to each other. And to start these notes that are next to each other, we have to use our tongue. We can't just blow into the instrument. We have to start it by releasing the air with the tongue, and we do that by saying, do. Say that for me. Do. I'm putting my tongue right behind the top teeth on the edge and moving out of the way as I say, do. It just goes down in the mouth. So if you do that on your instrument, it sounds like this. So I want you to try this with me. We're going to say this. Do, 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 do. Say that for me. Do, 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 do. And then without the sound. The tongue is touching the top of the back teeth. We'll play that on the horn. We're going to play it on A. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. So keep practicing that over and over until we can make that tonguing work pretty easily. Now we're going to play number 7, and we're going to start every note with using one tongue stroke. So it's A, thumb 1, 2, followed by another A, then a whole rest, then B flat, thumb 1, followed by another B flat, then a whole rest, then C, thumb only, and another C. So we'll play for 4 counts and then start the next note with the tongue. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and. 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4. So we want to start every note by saying do. Okay, now we're looking at number 8, rhythm time, and this is a clap and count exercise. We have something new here. We have half notes. Half notes get 2 counts instead of 4 like whole notes. So if you look at the first 2 measures of number 8, it would be clapped and counted like this. 1, hold 2, 3, hold 4, 1, hold 2, half, rest. So do that with me as we go through number 8. Ready? Clap and count with me. Ready? Begin. 1, hold 2, 3, hold 4, 1, hold 2, half, rest. 1, hold 2, 3, hold 4, whole notes get 4 counts. 1, hold 2, 3, hold 4, 1, hold 2, 3, 4. 1, hold 2, 3, 4, 1, hold 2, hold 3, hold 4. Now, we can tell the difference between our whole rest and our half rest because the half rest sits up on top of the line like a hat would sit on top of your head. And a whole rest hangs down below the line like you would see a hole in the road. It goes underneath. So the whole rest hangs below the 4th line of the staff, and the half rest sits on top of the middle line. So that's an easy way of telling them apart. Now, in your book, it tells you to play number 8 using the note A. So we're going to play through that using the note A. Here we go. 1, 2, and now. Okay, you can also play that and practice using your B flat and practice using, we're looking at number 9, half note rock. So we're still having our half notes and half rests and whole notes here. So let's go over the notes. Let's look at the first two measures. We have thumb 1, 2 for A. There's 3 of them. Then the third and fourth measure, we have 3 B flats, thumb 1. Then in the fifth and sixth measure, we have 3 C's, thumb only. In the seventh measure, we have a B flat, thumb 1. And in the last measure, we have an A, thumb 1, 2. Now you can finger along and say the note names while I play, and then back the video up and play along with me. Here we go. 1, 2, ready? And you can rewind that back and do it as many times as you need. Now let's look at number 10, Sight Reading Challenge Steppin. Okay, we're going back and forth between the 3 notes that we know so far. So let's look at the first 2 measures. Let's say and finger that. Our first note is on the third line. It's B flat, thumb 1. Second note is on the second space, A, thumb 1, 2. And then we go back to our B flat in the second measure, thumb 1. Then in the third measure, we have a B flat, thumb 1, then a C, thumb open, then a B flat in the fourth measure, thumb 1. So let's do those 4 measures together. I'll play through it, then you play with me. Here we go. Half, rest. Okay, this time you play with me. First 4 measures. Ready? Now. Rest, rest. All right, now let's look at the 5th and 6th measure. We have B flat, then A, finger with me, then B flat, then C, and then a B flat with a rest and another B flat. So finger with me as I play that. Ready? And. Half, rest. Okay, play those last 4 measures with me. 1, 2, begin now. Half, rest. Okay, now we're going to go all the way through number 10 using the metronome. Here we go. 1, 2, here we go, and. Keep rewinding that back and playing that as many times as you need to be able to get all those notes to speak easily. We're looking at number 11, El Camino Mariachi Duet. This has 2 parts. We have an A part and a B part. The B part's in a yellow shading. Right now we're only looking at the A part. So let's look at the first 4 measures of this, and let's say and finger this together. Our first note is on the second space. It's an A, thumb 1, 2. Our second note is a B flat on the middle line, thumb 1. Then the third note in the second measure is a C on the third space, just the thumb. Then the third measure, we have a C on the third space. Then we go to a B flat on the third line, thumb 1. And an A, thumb 1, 2. And then a half rest. So finger and say the note names with me. Ready? Now. Now play that with me. First four measures. Ready? Begin. Half rest. Now let's look over at measure 5, 6, 7, and 8. In measure 5, we have on the second space an A, thumb 1, 2. The next note is a C on the third space, thumb open. In the sixth measure, we have a B flat on the middle line, thumb 1. Then a whole half rest. Then in the seventh measure, we have a C on the third space, thumb only. Then a B flat on the third line, thumb 1. And an A in the last measure on the second space, thumb 1, 2. Say the note names and finger while I play. Ready? And. Rest, rest. Now play that with me. Last four measures. Ready? Begin. Rest, rest. All right, now we're ready to go all the way through number 11. You can play this recording and finger and say the note names, and then back it up and play the recording again and play along. That way you can really work on your fingerings and getting the right pitches. Here we go with the metronome. 1, 2, ready, and. Now remember, I'm starting every note by using my tongue. So now we're going to look down at part B. Let's say and finger the notes for the first four measures of part B. We have an A, then B flat, then we go back to A in the second measure. Third measure, A, B flat, and then a C in the fourth measure. So play along with me on this. Ready? 1, 2, playing now. Rest, rest. Now let's look at the last four measures. Let's say the notes and finger. In measure 5, we have a C, then an A, then a B flat. Remember, our thumb's down on all of these notes. Then followed by a half rest. Then an A, then a B flat, then a C. So let's play those four measures together. Ready? Here we go. And. Rest, rest. Remember, we start every note with our tongue. Now we're going to play all the way through B using the metronome. Here we go. 2, ready, and. Now you can play this with the recording. You can go back and you can play part A while you listen to part B, and play part B while you listen to part A, and actually play the duet. Now we're going to look at number 12, Cuckoo. We're going to look at this in 4 measure sections. So instead of trying to take the whole thing at one time, we're going to work this out in little bitty bites. So let's look at the first 4 measures. Let's say in finger, our first note is C on the 3rd space, then A on the 2nd space, then C on the 3rd space, then a half rest, then C on the 3rd space, B flat on the 3rd line, and A on the 2nd space. Now, play that along with me. Ready? Ready? Now. Rest, rest. Now you can back that up and go over those 4 measures several times, saying and fingering it and playing it along with me. So now let's look at the last 4 measures. We have thumb C, then thumb 1, 2, A, then in the 6th measure, thumb C, thumb 1, 2, A, in the 7th measure, thumb 1, B flat, thumb open C, and the last measure, thumb 1, 2, A. I'm going to play this. You can say and finger with me, and then back the video up and play along. Here we go. Last 4 measures. Ready? And. Now we're going to go through the whole exercise. Again, you can play along with me. You can finger along and say the note names and just keep backing the video up and keep going back and forth until you're comfortable with this piece. So here we go with the metronome. 1, 2, ready, and. And keep backing that up, keep going over that until you have that down where you have no problems playing all the way through it.